Chuy passed away. And, dude, I'm shattered. He was 15.
Almost 16.
16 on Valentine's Day. And he the last couple of weeks, he gotten pretty weak. I got back from vacation. I picked him up from daycare on a Friday, and I could just tell he just wasn't him. So then, we spent the weekend together, and then Monday before New Year's, I made a vet appointment for that Friday because I was like, something's off. New Year's Eve, I had a gig for New Year's, so myself, Chuy, and Skittles got a hotel, and I called the vet again. I'm like, I don't think he's gonna make it to Friday. So we had agreed on Thursday, and he was just tired a lot, and so I had to leave at 6 for my event, and I made him a little bed in my suitcase because he would always get anxiety when my suitcase was out.
Yeah.
That I would leave him.
You sent me a picture. It was really adorable, though. He looked so happy.
Yeah, so I made him the bed in the suitcase, and I laid with him for a little bit.
You had a nap. You had your last nap together.
Yeah, no. But before I left, I laid with him on the floor, and I told him that if he had to go, it was okay. That he didn't have to stay for me. And I got back around like 1, I think, and walked in. He wasn't in the suitcase. Skittles was acting weird, and then that's when I found him. And it's been a nightmare.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky. I had Chuy basically his entire life. So my college girlfriend, like a month before we started dating, her family had raised Chihuahuas. He was born, and I was always like, small dogs are stupid. But with Chuy, he just kind of forced his way in. That's kind of like his way, and he became my best friend right away. I mean, my ex-girlfriend, her sister at the time was dating a guy who had a pit bull, not a well-trained pit bull, and the pit bull came at me. Chuy got in the way, and he was like 3 months old. And so the pit bull's looking like, what is this little dog doing?
Little beanie baby.
And then I went from Minneapolis to Des Moines for radio by myself, and I'm very grateful that my then girlfriend let me take Chuy with me. And it was me and him eating tuna packets for a year. I used to bring him to work, and my boss, Greg Chance, who another person I owe a lot to, was like, because in Des Moines, we had our own building. So it was a lot easier. He could just go wherever. And like Chuy had a mind of his own where he would just walk around wherever he got attention. And so Chance pulled me aside like, hey, you can't have your dog at work. But then the main secretary lady made him a working badge that said Chuy on it. And then it's like, fella, I can't. What do you want me to do? He's part of the team, And then
it was so big, it looked like he'd fall over wearing it.
No, I know. So I would bring him to work every day. When I was doing the night show, he would sleep in the studio every day. And he was my sidekick, man. We moved out here. We moved several times out here. And, I look back now, I'm like, I was able to do so much stuff because I had him. I could have the worst day at work, the worst day with relationships, hockey, whatever. But I would walk home, and he would shake that tail so quick. It was almost like he was going to fly away.
Yeah.
In the last 2 weeks, it sucks. Like, I'm very blessed, and my friends and you guys reaching out, but it's like, 15 years, and this is the longest we've been apart.
Yeah.
And so I find myself like looking for him in places he should be, and he's just not there. Like Sauce came over one of the first days, and we ordered pizza, and I got up quick off the couch, and I'm like, oh, I got up so quick, he's gonna for sure wake up and follow me. And I was like, oh. Yeah. And I woke up that first Saturday and called him to bed, and he wasn't there. So that it's really hard. A lot of folks asking about how Skeets is handling it. Skittles is a very smart dog, and he can tell something's up. You know, I've been watching a lot of like videos of him, and Chuy would cry all the time. That's just what he did for no reason other than he wanted attention. And I played it, and Skittles started howling. Yeah. And their relationship was funny. They've known each other basically Skittles' entire life.
Yeah.
Chuy kind of bullied Skittles around a little bit,
Definitely.
I think, or at least just like wasn't different. I used to, Chuy, with Chuy's food, the last 2 years, we went from dog food to grilled chicken to grilled beef to pulled chicken, everything. But he'd still, like, he'd eat his and go, I'm going to go see what Skittles has.
Yeah.
And Skittles would have, like, this kibble stuff. And so you pour it in a metal bowl. Sometimes little pieces will fall off. And Chuy would just go and eat it while Skittles is eating. In, like, the last 2 weeks, Skittles has left the food on the floor.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's, yeah. It's a lot. And I owe you a lot, Shelby. I was in shock, I think, when I found him. And I don't remember. I know I talked to you, my parents, on the phone. And I'm sorry that you guys had to hear that. I can only imagine.
Don't apologize.
But you were his best friend.
Yeah.
I think, you came here 8 years ago. So Sauce basically started watching Chuy for me when I go out of town, and I'd always stick you with bringing him to the vet because I didn't want to be the bad guy.
Taking his nails to get trimmed.
Yeah. He spent countless holidays with your family and your grandma, and I know your brother took good care of him. I thank you for that, but you were legitimately...
Dude, Chuy and I did everything together. When I moved to Atlanta, you let me take him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just like his father. He was a cool little man with an attitude.
Yeah, he was very aware of how much people loved him. I think. And
you think?
Yeah, no, he man.
He'd walk out on stage and get like right close enough that you could like maybe pet him. He's like, no.
That's like, yeah. So Chuy would go, and then like, he would cry for attention, then be just out of arm's reach so you couldn't get him.
I made his voice up for him because he cried so much and be like, I'm Chuy and I'm sad.
Yeah. It was funny. We did a comedy show in Tampa, and this is like the last show of the tour, and I'm like 10 minutes in, I get a standing ovation.
Yeah.
And people are going crazy. And I'm like, God, I'm really good at this.
You're killing it.
I looked around. Chuy had walked on stage.
Eric, in my defense, was supposed to be watching it.
I know. I said this before, but that little dude, he loved me
so much.
Yeah.
He literally like tried to attack. He didn't try to attack. Chuy never bit or attacked anything in his life, but he tried to like stand up for you when he saw a horse, which is like
it's
8 times the size.
Yeah, I always joke the 3 S's of Chuy were staring, crying, and sleeping.
Yeah.
If I was on the couch, he would be sitting on the stairs staring. But if I laid down on the couch, he's like, "Oh, it's sick nap time."
But you had to invite him.
Yeah. He loved to be invited.
Yeah.
I posted some of my favorite memories on Instagram, and I have been. I knew people liked him. I've been blown away with how much
everybody loved Chuy.
Yeah. I've gotten so many messages, And it's funny, again, everybody has a Chewy story.
Yeah.
Molly's parents used to watch him a lot too. And I remember one time her dad's like, I think Chewy has selective hearing. Like, what do you mean? He's like, he only really listens to things he wants to listen to. I'm like, yeah, that's my child. That's him. Yeah, I'm blessed that he lived, I think, probably the best life of any dog I know. He went to Salamander. He went to Tampa. He went to Louisville. He went to Atlanta. He went to Pennsylvania, Nashville, Des Moines. I mean, he had merch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He had such a great life.
Yeah.
I took him everywhere. Like, all the pictures of me and Chewy are like, I took him to like all these like big landmarks in Atlanta. And then we tried Zaxby's together. So he had Zaxby's. He had to try my favorite chicken.
Well, that'd be the worst too. It's like he would cry for food, and I'd give him like my food that I made, and he'd spit it out like it wasn't good enough for him.
Yeah.
You know? What I will say is I'm very blessed that I have no regrets.
Yeah.
The last 2 weeks have been the worst.
Yeah.
I'm blessed, and I guess this is maybe like a message to pet owners, but for me, being a single dude, I have no family here. He was my world.
Yeah.
Everything I did involved him. And I'm like blessed that taking him for car rides, taking him to work, taking him to if we go to our friend Andrew Namina's house, let him walk around, or if it was to Molly's family's farm, or like everywhere I go, I'm blessed that it's like I can't look back and like, oh, I should have done more with him.
Yeah.
We did everything.
Took him to Tampa, like he got to play in the pool. Like
he stopped an airplane on the runway once.
He did.
He sure did. Yeah, I'm very blessed too. His vet, John Weston's like the nicest guy.
He's amazing. Like when I took Chewy to the vet, and he said that he just acted like that because he knew that I would give him attention.
Yeah, because he would stop eating if he wanted attention.
And I was like, he's not eating. John's been gone for like a week and a half because it was during the holidays. And he said he's only acting like that because you'll give him attention. I'm like, sir, this man has kept me up all night.
Yeah. But the one thing, I mean, the vet said, and again, I guess take this as a lesson or what, is that there's nothing more I could have done.
No, definitely not.
He had a heart murmur. He had seizures, and the vet said that he probably only made it this far because of me.
Definitely. You did everything for him.
Oh, man. Yeah. It's interesting. People ask, like, how you feel, and then my legit, like, shattered and lived a nightmare.
Yeah.
Because he might as well have been like my leg, you know.
Yeah. He's part of your soul is how I explain it to people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, imagine just like missing a part of like your life. So yeah.
The one thing my mom said was at least he went out on his own terms.
Yeah.
Which is true. But I also believe that he knew how much he meant to me. And I think he knew that if I had to make that decision, it would kill me.
Yeah.
And I know that if he was here these last 2 weeks, it would really stress him out.
Especially like with the weather.
Well, that too. But just to see how much I miss him.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to be real with everybody listening. I take this job seriously. I know our job's to entertain, and you have things going on in your life too, but I'm going to need some patience for like a while, man, because I'm not doing well. Every day there's something that pop up and like instantly just come down in tears. Because this weekend, I texted you, I think last night, saw us, and I was like, he's never coming home again. And that's, that sucks. But I was very lucky to have him.
He was lucky to have you too.
And to everybody who, reached out or came to the show, I just thank you for loving my best friend. Anytime he was sick, like the amount of messages I would get, it's been overwhelming to see just how much he was loved by everyone. And I miss him. So that's what's new with me. Yeah, dude, I don't know. Again, I know this is not how you want to start your Monday. I've been keeping this bottled for as long as I could. I do, I'm thinking of ways to keep this memory alive with charity stuff. Been looking at different animal charities and so on. But I guess if you have a pet, if you could just give him an extra scratch for Chuy tonight, I appreciate it. So there's no easy way to transition out of this. I realize that. But yeah, thank you for loving my best friend, and I just miss him.